Chapter 10 review. I can intelligently prepare for my test.
Yes, we're going to intelligently prepare more than we did at school. You're going to go home and do some more there. The first thing we talked about was finding the area and perimeter. To find the perimeter of any shape, you do what, everybody? Yeah, we just added all of the sides, all the lengths of the sides as shown here. We got 30 units. Over here, we're finding the area of a rectangle. And what was our formula to find the area of a rectangle below? Base times height. As you can see, then we plugged in 10 times 4. Base and our height. Over here, we're finding the area of a triangle. And what is the formula for the area of a triangle, Peta?
Base times height divided by 2.
Base times height divided by 2. Peta, what does this dotted line represent?
The height.
The height. When we're talking about area, what do we have to label our answer with? Sorry. Squared. Yeah. No, that's okay that you all answered. Squared. Area is always squared. Is it wrong if you don't have squared?
Yeah.
Is it wrong if you don't have a label at all?
Yes.
What about up here where I didn't label it. All I have is a 5 and I have a 3 and I have a 4. Are you fair game to not label it?
No.
No. What are you going to label it with? Everybody. All right, going down, we're doing area of a parallelogram. It's the same formula, right, as the area of a rectangle. Base times height. All right, and then we did the area of a trapezoid. Katie, can you tell me what the area of a trapezoid is?
The formula,
Yes.
height, and then in parentheses, base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2.
Does it matter which base 1 and base 2 is, or are? No. So here we said this was base 1, but it doesn't have to be. 10 could have been base 1, you're going to get the same answer. Alright, scrolling down. Okay, now we're talking about the area of a kite and a rhombus. And to find the area, Tyler, what is the area to find a kite or a rhombus?
Diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2.
Diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. Or Omar, what else could you use?
1/2
Times
times diagonal 1
2. So 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 is going to get you the same answer. It's the same thing. Who does? Okay, go. Bye, Tyler. All right, here are our diagonals. And we said that our diagonals were 32 feet right up here. You gave us this one. And 69 feet. We said, wow, that'd be a huge kite if you were actually outside flying it. You would probably fly away. But as you scroll through the video, you can see how you solved for that. Then we talked about the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem is used to solve for what, Amr? The hypotenuse, right? Or a missing dimension of a what kind of triangle? Right triangle. And our formula is what, everybody?
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
And c is always what side? What side? Hypotenuse is always opposite of what?
The right angle. Yes.
Got a little weak, but you still know it. All right. And then we talked about using algebra, and you are all pretty phenomenal at algebra. Honestly, you were really good at using it for finding a missing dimension in a rectangle. So we did an example of doing it with a triangle. Because you have this really tricky thing here where you're getting rid of what? A fraction. And we hate fractions, so that's the first thing we're going to get rid of. So we multiply by 2 to get rid of that. Because in our formula, we have 2. You cannot forget to divide by 2 in the area of a triangle. All right. We're almost done. Now we're finding the area of an irregular polygon. And to do that, what do we have to do below? Yeah, so first we split it up. So we split it here. There's multiple different ways you can split it. After you split it, what do? Yeah, you find the area of each one. So here's for one. Here's for the other one. And then what's our very last step? Add them together, which we did right down here. All right. And then to find the area or perimeter on grid paper, you are all phenomenal also at that one, so I didn't do an example. But what do we have to do for that, Zach?
Count squares and then you estimate.
Yeah, all you have to do is count the squares and estimate. If you're pretty close to the estimated, or to what I get on my answer key, you'll get it right. It doesn't have to be spot on. All right. So now you have to find the volume. What is the area or the formula to find volume? Beta?
Capital B times a height.
Capital B times the height. What does the capital B represent? Abshir, what does it represent? Area of the base. Represents the area of the base. In a triangular prism, what is always going to be the base? Amr? The triangle. This is always going to be your base. So right here, when we did 3 times 5 divided by 2, that comes from right here. This is your base. Your height, then, this is where it's confusing because you have to flip the image in your head. This now becomes your height. Your 20 inches becomes your height. Yeah. Practice those.
Yes.
Oh, and what about volume? What is different about volume from area? How do we label our units, Amr? Cube. Cube. All right. One last one. Finding surface area. How do you find surface area? Tyler? Yes, you just find them of each face, and we did them by color, and you can kind of figure it out up here. But this one here, right, there's going to be 2 of them. Here, there's 2 of them. Here, there's 2 of them. So you have to multiply 10 times 8, and then you have to multiply your answer by 2 to get your final answer. And all we put on here is just our final answer. And surface area, our units are what? Square. It's back to square. We're still on units, or we're still on area, so it's squared. Do not forget to label. Do not forget to label. Do not forget either squared or cubed or just units or whatever it is that you have to add on there. Any lasting questions before your test? All right.